What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Small Talks with the Big Guy, the best podcast that you've never heard of. I am your host, of course, as always, EROE. Listen, man, what did I say last episode? That I had a face that was returning a second time. We're doing the geek gimmick again, but this time it's not with geek. It is with the Bat Duck. However, this time we're not talking about movies. We're going to be talking about the great sport of professional wrestling. My man's got the belt. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen.
Caleb should grab his belt. Every time I grab my belt, Caleb grabs it.
I mean, hey, you gotta, I get it. If I had a belt, I would. I have with me today the collaboration of Caleb and Bat Duck, a.k.a. the Curb Stomp Podcast. Podcast with 42 episodes over on Spotify. Their newest episode just came out, I believe, yesterday.
Yes.
Along with 479 YouTube subs over on the Curb Stomp Podcast YouTube channel. You can find them over on Twitch. All new episodes. Do you guys have a dedicated upload day?
Saturdays, unless it's PLE weekend.
There you go. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Caleb, Bat Duck, the Curb Stomp Podcast. How you guys doing?
Can't complain. Cannot complain.
I've been worse. That's certainly something.
Yeah. I'll say Caleb, Duck is going through some coffee nasally shit, so we apologize in advance if he mutes a lot, but it's okay. We're going to get through it regardless. Prime example.
Yep.
So, first and foremost, I actually totally meant to ask this between you and Geek on the Dueling Fates episode, and I completely forgot. But it's okay. Because I assume it's going to be kind of a similar answer, but just for shits and giggles, I want to start off with how you two met.
So, it's through a common friend, Miller Football.
Mm-hmm.
We both joined his Madden League.
Oh, okay.
And that's how we met. And then it just evolved from there. We barely interacted to... We were both commissioners, Grayson, but it was like...
No, the thing is...
casual, I'd make fun of you. Like everyone else would.
The only person I interacted more with at the beginning of the Madden League was Jarrett. And that besides Jarrett, it was you.
I don't think we interacted that much early on.
We did, though.
I don't think
because we had a week 4 matchup where we were talking shit immediately. So
yes, because I talk shit because I beat you by like 50.
Oof.
No, that was a closer game.
Oof.
No, this is a game I beat you. Remember, because I gave you that extra.
No, because I told you you play it like a pussy.
Oh yeah, that's right. That game. Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah.
Oh god! All right,
I do.
Well, shouts out to Miller Football, friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
I mean, obviously, like, the Curb Stomp Podcast, a podcast about professional wrestling, is a pretty self-explanatory gimmick, so to speak. But why don't you go ahead and tell us what the Curb Stomp Pod's all about?
Caleb.
It's us talking about wrestling. There's no fancy way to sum it up. We show up once a week. We talk about what's going on wrestling, any big news, what happened on Raw, SmackDown, AEW. It's the big TNA indie news.
Give our input.
We predict what happened on the pay-per-view will happen on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
We even throw TNA pay-per-views in now because TNA is becoming bigger. We cover the big stuff.
And we give our input, and then sometimes it develops into us arguing for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Because the Duck says something stupid.
I usually do.
Well, we're going to try to avoid that today as much as possible.
No.
As much as possible.
It's the Duck still.
You can't avoid it.
It's the Duck in wrestling.
Right. So I had... I'm just going to be real with everybody. This is going to be, obviously, nothing but professional wrestling. This entire episode. So if professional wrestling is not your bag, I completely get it. Feel free to exit the episode or hang out and listen to us talk about it because it's going to be a good time regardless. I've got 2 major marks, and then myself, I am also a major mark. It's fine. You can admit it.
Everyone's a mark in professional wrestling in some way.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as a non-mark.
Also, I'm sorry. Isn't that... Is that a EO Sky shirt that I see?
It's a Roxy. It's Roxanne Perez.
Well, there you go. There you
It's
go.
the Prodigy, damn it.
Your microphone's
Respect
covering
my girl.
it, bro. Relax. But also,
It still says like
the
pay attention to the advertising doing NXT pay-per-views.
it's the microphone was covering it.
I know.
I couldn't
I
see.
know.
All I saw was
I know.
yellow, pink, and what I think is turquoise.
Green? It's green.
Looks like turquoise on my end, but yeah. So we're all marks. So if you don't like wrestling, feel free to exit the episode. But if you feel like hanging out and staying with us, we sure would appreciate it. First and foremost, gentlemen, what's the first piece of professional wrestling that you can remember? Like, because in every single documentary of every wrestler ever, you have that that was the moment I got hooked, man. For me personally, it's I obviously didn't see it live, but I saw the Road Warriors SummerSlam 1992 against the Nasty Boys, and it got me hooked. The Road Warriors and Razor Ramon. So, but what is that moment for the Curb Stomp Pod?
So, when I was younger, I watched wrestling, but I don't remember an exact moment of wrestling. I feel like it was a Triple H Edge type thing. I don't remember it ever happening. I can't tell you the exact day or the exact time. What brought me back to wrestling was Hell in a Cell 2022, Cody versus Seth. Because
When he
it
had
was
the
coming to it came back to Chicago, and I wanted to go with my ex at the time. Well, my girlfriend at the time, now my ex. And she's like, no, I don't want to go see wrestling. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to watch it whenever it came on Peacock, because I had Peacock at the time. And I watched it, and it immediately brought me back.
I mean, it's not like a match. It's not a wrestler. I was up with my cousins there in South Dakota, and they had the Xbox hooked up in the back of their car. And the only game they had available to play was WWE 2K14. So for a 3-hour drive, that's all we played. And I'm like, you know what? I like this.
Okay.
It's that simple. I wasn't even watching it. It was just playing the game.
Interesting. So you, Duck, you took a break from digging it there for a while, or?
Yeah, I did. And I don't know what dragged me away from it or whatever. Probably my young childhood life was just kind of messy.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
So, but when I came back, it was just I think the ADHD in me, I didn't really have a hyper focus at the time, and the hyper focus just devolved into an utter adornment and love for the sport of wrestling. So
yeah,
that's what brought me back entirely. So
fair enough. I know I took a break, completely different reasons. But I took a break for quite a number of years, and then Roman Reigns is actually the reason I got back into wrestling. So
he's a pretty good reason.
Yeah, I would.
He's a pretty solid reason to come back.
I would definitely agree. Yeah. The Bloodline story is
oh my god,
one of the it was one of the best storylines in wrestling.
It's get SummerSlam. It's gonna be on the back.
Trust me, we're in a lull right now. It'll pick back up once SummerSlam happens.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. All right, we're gonna do something that I've only done one time on this show, and it was with actually, ironically enough, former guests on the original season of Small Talks with the Big Guy. Professional wrestlers, Jake Lander and the great Cardini, aka Jared Allen. We're gonna play a game.
Oh,
this is just gonna be games. Simple word association.
Love that.
I'm gonna say a word. You can kind of sound off one by one. You can I probably one by one to be better, so that way we're not all at the same time going Triple H. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just basically gonna say a word. You tell me the wrestler, the first one that comes to your mind, or the embodiment of this word.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Got it.
Let's start off with something real easy. High flyer.
Ooh.
Io Sky.
Ricochet.
Fuck you. No, that's deliberate. That like Ricochet was the first one you
No,
thought
that's
of.
not deliberate. That's I think Hi-Fi. I think Ricochet.
Okay.
He's like that. He's a high flyer.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
Yes.
That's 100% fair. Powerhouse.
Braun Breaker.
Rhea Ripley.
I wanted to know the second name was Oba.
That's true. Oba's a fucking beast.
Oba, it was Braun Oba in like half a second.
Yeah. Obafemi is built different.
Oh my god.
Technical.
Brian
Daniel
Danielson.
Bryan.
Same person, different name.
Yeah.
Love it. Big man.
Braun Strowman. I was gonna say Braun Breaker for a second.
Omos.
Yes.
Okay.
Homo sapiens.
Heel.
Roman Reigns.
I think Seth Rollins.
I don't think Seth is as much of a heel than Roman
I
is.
think of the turning on the shield when I think heel turn.
Okay, you're thinking Authority Rollins. Okay.
Yeah. Solid. Face.
Cody
Cena.
Rhodes.
Who'd you say,
I'm
Doug?
serious. I said Cody Rhodes. I should have said Cena because Cena is the default babyface,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
immediately went to Cody Rhodes.
I mean,
Hey.
Indy.
Matt Cardona.
Hartwell.
Oh, I see what you did there.
First thing that comes in my mind.
Yeah, I did. You're just playing the game. I can appreciate
My
it.
breakout star of
I can
2024.
appreciate it. Also, Matt Cardona. Did I get a Matt Cardona?
Matt Cardona.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig it. Top other company.
AEW.
It can be any company you
AEW.
want. It's just not the E.
AEW.
It's AEW.
Okay.
It's AEW. It's not even a hesitation.
Tag team.
Usos.
Faction.
Shield.
I was just gonna say Bloodline.
Fair.
Still Roman.
Fair. Champion.
Roman.
Yeah. He is wrestling for the last 4 years. So.
Yeah. Men's.
Seth Rollins.
I think Cody.
Women's.
Just think Cody.
Rhea Ripley.
Liv Morgan.
I like that choice as well. I'll take it. My specialty is women's wrestling. So.
This one will be interesting. Gimmick match.
Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn.
My first thought was Punjabi prison match.
Whoa. Deep cut. Holy shit.
Good.
I mean, hey, it works.
It works.
I'll take it. How about just gimmick?
Is mommy a gimmick? That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
I think of Santino Morella. Santino. And Santina going
Jesus. Theme song.
Bobby
Viper's, the Viper. Oh my god, don't know what it's called. Voices. There you go.
Orton?
Words.
There you go.
Yeah, Orton.
And then you said
I don't know why
who?
they call him the Viper.
Bobby Roode.
Glorious.
Glorious.
It's a good-ass theme, man.
Jinx.
It's a good ass theme song.
Good-ass
I was
theme.
thinking, I think about it at least once a day.
Yeah.
Like, god damn, that theme alone should have gotten him a world championship.
Entertainer.
Truth.
I was gonna go with Miz. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Awesome Truth. Okay. I'm going to save that one for last. I don't know why I put that one in the middle. That one's got to be last. A guilty pleasure wrestler.
See, I don't know.
I don't know if for great because Grayson's here. Dijak.
Is that guilty pleasure though? Like,
to some people it is because there's some people don't like him.
because when I think guilty pleasure, it's like a bad wrestler that you really, really enjoy.
No, not necessarily. It could be a wrestler that not everybody enjoys, but that you do find an enjoyment in. It's kind of like the movie Batman and Robin. Not everybody likes that movie, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine.
I go Liv Morgan just because I know she's hated in a lot of spears. I'll take it like that.
Fair
I
enough.
guess.
Dijak and Liv Morgan. Okay. Best of the Golden Age.
Can you remind me what the Golden Age is like time span is?
I mean, we're talking, Hogan, Andre, Macho Man,
Yeah,
Ricky the
it's
Dragon
okay.
Steamboat.
I just hit golden age, and I sadly think Hogan.
That's fair. I mean, take away the things that he has done,
Yeah.
and as a human.
That's why I said sadly.
But you can't take away that Hogan was one of the most influential wrestlers during that era.
Aside from Hogan, I think of Roddy Piper.
Solid.
So,
Solid.
Yeah.
Best of the Attitude Era.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
I figured that was the answer there. How about the Ruthless Aggression Era?
I think Cena just because of the name.
I think Edge.
Oh, okay.
I think the name alone just always makes me think Cena because Cena started it.
Iconic moments of between 2002 to 2010. That's all Edge.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, it was a lot of solid years of just the rated R superstar there.
Yeah.
Him and Tony Chimmel fucking it up. Best of the PG era.
Punk.
I think Cena as well.
Best right now.
Yeah, it's got to go to Roman.
It's Roman.
But it's not to be just stick in the mud. I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley. I think she's the second best person in WWE.
Fair enough.
It's just Roman saved the company.
I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying to be different than your answer. I'm going Rhea.
I mean, that's also fair.
It's a fair answer.
I mean, one could say that Rhea brought more legitimacy to women's wrestling than it had at the time.
Absolutely.
So, favorite championship, and then now this could be any from any company, doesn't matter.
Intercontinental.
I like the one that Caleb has.
The World
Heavyweight.
Yeah, the new heavyweight. Yeah.
Favorite design of that title, though.
That one.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Caleb.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people didn't like it. I like the white belt.
Oh, the one that Cody brought back?
That Cody brought back.
Okay. It's solid.
It's a really good belt design.
It is better than the one we have currently, I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one's a little bit broader, but I figured, what the hell? Favorite pay-per-view, PLE, or event?
Royal Rumble.
I will go with Evolution. I gotta stick with the gimmick.
Yeah.
You definitely have a good
I love that pay-per-view, though.
Every year, for the last 4 years, I've watched the Rumble with family.
Yeah.
So, that by default will always be my favorite.
I've rewatched Evolution 3 times, so.
Fair enough. I don't think I ever saw it, but I also think that aired when I wasn't watching. So
it's 2018. Yeah.
That would be when I wasn't watching.
Yeah.
I took 4 or 5 years off and just didn't watch anything from anybody. Sold.
Really good Becky Charlotte match in that.
Yeah. Sold all my shit, the whole night. But and then of course the one that I was saving for the very end, the GOAT.
Cena.
It's Cena. There's no other choice.
No, it's. I see people try to say it's blah. I think at one point we were reading Edge's accomplishments. If you look at what he's done for the company, and we're like, he deserves to be in the conversation. But then Cena comes back and we think about it and it's like, no, it's not close.
Well, because Edge has done everything, but so has Cena. So
Cena's Cena. There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be honest. But that was
the brain.
That was that game that I had for y'all. So congratulations, a lot of really good answers. But I can't help, since we're bringing up Cena several times during that entire ordeal, I have to ask your guys's. I don't want to say dream, because obviously a lot of people have a lot of dreams when it comes to what Cena should do in his final year of wrestling. Obviously, like, the heel turn is obviously something that a lot of people want to see. Him winning another couple titles, like, is something that everybody really wants to see. But just trying to be realistic, like, we have probably not even a full year of wrestling with Cena left. But with that said, how would you book the final year of John Cena And after that year, who inducts him into the Hall of Fame?
Ooh.
Ooh, I never thought about who inducts him.
I mean,
Oh,
I say
So,
I have my pick for that, but
all I know. Okay, go ahead, Caleb.
Grayson and I have argued this.
Mhm.
I'm in the rare minority of I don't think Randy should be Mania.
okay.
I am in the. I think Grayson didn't like it because he and I argued about it for I think like 20 minutes before we even recorded an episode. I am in a Cena gets his own pay-per-view in December, and that's when he faces Randy.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
his genuine last match is against Randy.
But not at Mania.
Not at Mania.
Okay.
I like the idea of. I think it's Cena at the end of the day, and Cena's going to want to put someone over at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how Cena rolls. So I like the idea of a Carmelo Hayes. Maybe Braun Breaker has the Intercontinental Championship at the time, and it's against Braun for the IC title. It's someone young at Mania in my mind that Cena puts over.
Okay.
I think it'd be a travesty not to have a Cena Randy match happen at Mania. So I think they need to at least have one happen. So that'd be this Mania coming up. I do think his last match should be Punk. And I think the person who induct him should be Edge if Tony doesn't, want to be an asshole.
So I think the person to induct him should be Stephanie McMahon. He was this close to getting just released. He was not going to have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie heard him on the back of that bus dropping bars, entertaining all those wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I think C has a great argument. I think you could argue Kurt Angle just because of that one moment.
Yep. I
think you could say Ric Flair.
Could.
Especially if he gets number 17 through the year.
I'm really caught up in a couple different names. Randy is obviously the biggest name because like those two.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. How many pay-per-views did they headline? The Miz is another name that popped up for me.
I thought of the Miz after I stopped talking. Is the Miz? They're so close.
Yeah. I mean, Dwayne,
yeah.
Punk. As much as I don't like Punk, I can't not sit here and say that those two didn't tear it up numerous times. The Money in the Bank ladder or the Money in the Bank match or Money in the Bank pay-per-view, the match they had on that pay-per-view, I've watched so many times back in 2011. So I don't know.
I mean, I guess the other interesting name would be maybe a Triple H. Even because early 2000s they were going at it, and that would be Hunter's first induction since his retirement. The other name, just because it's another legend who recently retired, could be Taker.
Very true. They did have their battles as well.
They had their battles. They had their one Mania match that everyone chooses to forget.
Yeah.
We choose to forget it.
That's solid.
But it's a match.
Do either of you think that he wins a world title in this year and beats Flair's record?
I think he goes Grand Slam instead of
title. I want him to.
Because he's not Grand Slam yet. He's not IC. So
right, he still needs the IC title.
I think it speaks more if he gets number 17 than if he gets the IC.
I don't think he needs 17.
I think if there's any person who's ever been in this company who deserves 17, it's him.
Fair enough.
And he's the guy who would win it off. Like, say, I don't know who the world champion would be. It looks like he's gonna be on Raw at that point.
Yeah,
but imagine he'd be the guy who we talk about these young guys. He's the most willing person to put someone over nowadays. That's the perfect guy to give someone the title off of.
Agreed.
Especially if it's his last match. If he hypothetically loses his last match, which I doubt will happen.
Right.
No.
Now, I'm going to run you through my wet dream John Cena retirement scenario. It's not going to happen. There's 0% chance. I'm not going to say zero because anything can happen in the world of professional wrestling. I'm going to give it a 1% chance.
Yeah.
My dream scenario is a dream match that I have thought of for forever.
I swear to God, it's a thing that
I know what it is.
Do you?
And I'm right there. I listened to the last episode of Hit Home.
Okay. I think if we can swallow pride and if we can swallow egos, I think at some point an AEW, WWE Forbidden Door pay-per-view would be an absolute banger of an idea for multiple reasons, first of all.
Oh, absolutely.
But you have my dream match of John Cena versus Kenny Omega. The two top guys of the past 20 years. Just granted, that match probably should have happened 10 years ago. But
yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe not his last match, but I think those two could really work some really good magic with one another. And it's like I said, that's been a dream match of mine since I can remember.
I mean, I love that as a mid-year match, honestly.
Yeah.
Because Cena's not going to be Cena at all this year. He's not going to be the 2014 U.S. Open Challenge, putting on great matches with a broomstick, Cena.
Right.
That's just not going to happen. But him getting in his groove as best as he can, Cena, versus Omega, who's still wonderful in the ring, would just be amazing.
For sure. Good. I was a little worried that y'all
no.
I said that in my head during the last Hit the Go Home episode, available on all streaming platforms right now. But I really thought that a lot of people were going to be like, no, we don't want to see that, blah blah blah. And it's like
I've thought about that match for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Caleb mentioned to me like for a Mania or like his last match. I'm like, it can't be a Mania or last match. They don't have significant like history together. Like a Mania or last match.
I agree with that.
Should be like deep history with Cena.
I think.
Yeah, but if you also look at it of the whole deep history of Alpha Mania, 3 years ago we had zero history between Seth and Cody.
Yeah, but
and we were talking about that being the best match of Mania.
Yeah.
So at what point do you throw away the history?
This is the last year.
This
Cena,
will be
that's
the
completely
best
different.
match.
It's completely different. It's the last year of Cena.
But at what point do you say this is the best match we can give Cena than his last year? Because Kenny Omega will arguably be the best match we could give him with what wrestlers we have available story-wise.
Melo would be great.
Melo's not a Kenny Omega.
No. He's a future greatest wrestler.
Future, but cool. Guess what? We have 1 year.
But in that case, it'd be crowning the next generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, if we're going to throw out his best match he can have at Mania, it's someone from AEW. It's not anyone who's currently on WWE, because storylines are pointing in. All the best workers obviously have the Mania match already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Omega. It's your best friend, Will Ospreay. It's you get Moxley.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think the Forbidden Door aspect between AEW and WWE, I think, would honestly be just like it would be good. It would be good for multiple reasons. Because you could have finally some of those dream matches that we've been wanting forever. You could have the Shield triple threat that everyone said that we never really got, or whatever.
I saw the best tweet of that. It was, we always talk about, man, what if we get this match? Someone's like, we never have talked about how funny that character conversations would be. Mm-hmm. If you look at the wide range of the characters, Seth's a psychopath, one's a tribal chief, and Moxley's Moxley.
Yeah.
We never talk about what they would say to each other.
Yeah. Jeez. So let's dive a little deeper into that Forbidden Door. Let's do, I don't know, I want to do 5. Just give me a couple matches that you guys would just kind of lose your shit over if they got announced. If that Forbidden Door were to happen.
The first one that comes to mind is Gunther Ospreay.
Yeah.
That's the very Grayson's over the hating it because he doesn't like either of them that much.
I like Gunther a tiny bit,
but it's one guy who always puts on a great match and another guy who always puts on a great match, who have two completely different styles of wrestling.
Yeah,
who both can work with the other style of wrestling really well. Just coming together and just tearing the house down.
I'm there for it. Honestly, I'm there for it. I think that match would slap.
I think the funny one is Jack Perry versus CM Punk.
that already happened. Forbes already gave a winner.
What kind of match do you make that though? Do you make it a glass match?
Yeah, it's got to be a glass match. First one to go through the glass. You got to go all in with it.
There you go. Duck?
In my head, the first match I go to besides the Shield Triple Threat would be a Fatal 4-Way Horsewoman match.
Oh, okay.
We don't have Mercedes. As long as we get Mercedes back, that's like my first instinct. If Triple H has the shot to do it, he's got to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I don't care. I would go with like anything with Stephanie Van Kerr, but apparently that doesn't need to be a dream match anymore.
No, not at all.
Unless it's the other way around now.
Yeah, apparently. I'd love to see Mina Shirakawa mix it up with like Io Sky. I think that'd be a great match.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm very women's wrestling centric. If anyone has not noticed, if you don't watch Curb Stomp.
I don't think it's just women's wrestling. You're very women's everything eccentric.
That is true, yeah. But like women's wrestling is where I like know most of my shit about.
Yeah.
I mean, one that didn't get mentioned that I think has been talked about for the last decade is Usos Young Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a dream match.
You just want
like
super kicks?
But again, that's another match that should have happened a decade ago.
Yes, and you know what? I still think if we did it today, that match would be really, really good.
Yeah.
And we'd all be mad that it didn't happen 5 years ago when they were both in their primes.
Because the Usos and the Bucks are two tag teams that just seemingly don't age. Like, if you can find a third tag team to throw it in there that is, arguably as over as the Bucks or the Usos, you could recreate those old TLC triple threats between the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian.
I mean, if we want to stay old, it's the New Day.
Okay.
It's the New Day.
I was going to go with DIY. With how much they hoop, it's DIY.
They hoop. But do they hoop like that?
See, I kind of think...
at this day and age, yes, they hoop.
I kind of think maybe that spot should be reserved for maybe FTR.
FTR would also be... There's so many good tag teams between the two.
Yeah, honestly. But,
I mean...
I'm going to throw you a curveball.
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw maybe TNA. Let's throw maybe New Japan. Let's say you have booking availability to book your perfect card. It doesn't matter. Somehow you got, D&D powers of necromancy.
Yeah.
Past, present, future, main event.
Anyone in the prime.
Anybody.
Oh my God.
Give me your dream main event. And just because I know that Duck's going to give me a women's match, which is not a problem in the slightest, I would like your men's and your women's main event.
Can I throw a tag team match in there as well?
100%.
Oh, bet.
You want to make me a list? I love lists, man. That's what this show's all about. It's what you like, is the story you need to tell, and fucking lists. And also, your favorite ice cream.
We're fucking lists? Hey, yo.
So we're going all in their prime as like when they're best in the ring. Right?
Yeah, correct.
So the first thing I think about is give me the Bullet Club, specifically Finn. It's at any point. So I'm going anyone who's ever been in Bullet Club.
Okay.
Give me Prime Demon Finn. Give me Kenny Omega. Give me Cody Rhodes.
Ooh, okay.
And give me the 3 members of the Shield in their prime.
Okay.
That's the tag match.
That is a wild tag match.
It's a wild. It would never happen in a billion years.
No.
But you know what? they could go 2 hours and I wouldn't care.
Well, I mean, arguably, you could get Cody and Finn against Seth and Roman. That would never happen either. But
and I'd
that
want
is
that
a
10 years
possibility in
I'd also want that. I'd also want all 3 of the 4 of them 10 years ago.
Right, yeah.
And then Roman can be Roman nowadays.
Fair.
I like my spooky characters. I know we got the match at WrestleMania 31, I think. I think so. But it was also in Bright Ass Fucking Day, which doesn't work for either character. But can we get... I would love a Fiend versus Undertaker, like Dead Man Undertaker match. Like, in the Darkness of Arena. It'd be perfect. But they did it in Bright Ass Fucking Day and WrestleMania 31. It was just like, that was a no-go.
Yeah, I still don't to this day understand why that match was booked so early in the card.
No. Make no sense.
And I'm gonna go with like my favorite women's wrestler right now, Rhea Ripley, versus my favorite women's wrestler back in the day, which was Lita.
Ooh.
I think that'd be a fun matchup.
Okay.
I think that'd be a ton of fucking fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it. You got any more, Caleb?
I guess men's match. It would probably be Cena Omega, honestly, just because that match. It's a crime we didn't get that in their prime. I mean,
yeah,
Ospreay and anyone like Ospreay, Michaels, Ospreay, Hunter.
Oh.
like there's some of those matches. It's like, like I just know. There's no way you can't just try to just convince me they wouldn't be 5-star classics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if we got prime Daniel Bryan versus Ospreay, they already tore the house down, and Daniel Bryan's pushing 40.
Mm-hmm.
If we got prime Daniel Bryan versus Ospreay, Ospreay, I genuinely think is the best wrestler alive still, and he was better 2 years ago.
What if I threw
there's someone you could throw with Ospreay.
what if I threw Daniel Bryan versus Bret the Hitman Hart at you?
Women's wise, give me. I think just character wise, Becky, Toni Storm would be fun.
Okay.
Just character wise, them interacting because they're polar opposites, and that match would still be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 4 horsewomen in their prime would just be phenomenal. Just that door opens. Even if we want to give shout outs to like mid-carders in WWE and AEW who don't get the sign, go a Dolph Ziggler versus anyone. Like, I had to give Dolph his shout out. Like, give me prime Dolph versus Zoba.
Okay.
Let prime Dolph sell for Oba.
Jesus.
Like, you want to talk about someone looking good? Oba would look like he was not from Earth.
Yeah, definitely.
He doesn't look like he's from Earth now.
No, and Dolph would only make it worse.
So, a couple matches that come to my mind, because I want to play too.
Oh, absolutely. No, play along. You get a play.
Couple matches that come to my mind. Obviously, the number one, Cena Omega.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's a crime that we haven't gotten that match. But obviously, like, that match is kind of like, well, yeah, that match is kind of like Taker Sting for me.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I don't want Taker Sting now. I want Taker Sting 15 years ago. Maybe even, I'd even go maybe 20 years ago. But I think you want to talk big names. Let's do, how about Ziggler versus Ilya?
Oh my God. Oh my, you just hit my soft spot. you just hit my soft spot.
I mean, Swerve, Carmelo. I think those two would put on an absolute incredible match.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife has something. Yes. MJF and John Cena.
That I wouldn't even. I don't know how much I care for the match. I'd want 3 months of build to this
Oh
match.
god, the promo work
And
alone.
it's not like them calling each other out. They're both standing in the ring, just taking blows at each other.
Yeah. Oh man, so many good matches. Unfortunately, we'll never probably get any of them.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, if
Maybe.
egos can be swallowed and the right amount of money can be made. But I'm going to switch gears because Caleb, you've never been on this show, not one
Never.
time. Duck,
Never.
you have been on this show, so I don't get to hit you with this, but it's okay though. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for everyone's favorite segment, EROE's Top 5. Play the thing.
The Big Guys Top 5. Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I edited it correctly, but if I did, there should be a thing playing. All right. Caleb, my friend.
Yep.
We're surviving. I dig it. Welcome to EROE's Top 5. These are 5 fast, easy questions to prove that you're not a robot. I do not know why I've given it to that gimmick, but I have, and I'm going to stick with it.
I mean, I am a robot, so
Well, there we go. Well, we're going to find out.
I'm going to fail.
We're going to find out for sure. First off, question numero uno. The favorite question of everybody. Caleb, what's your favorite ice cream?
Gold medal ribbon.
One more time.
Gold medal ribbon.
Gold
brand, yeah.
medal ribbon.
Yes.
brand.
You gotta.
It's not a brand. It's a genuine ice. I gotta describe it.
Yeah, you gotta give me something here. I have no idea what that is.
It's at Baskin Robbins.
Oh, okay.
It's a vanilla ice cream with lines of chocolate with caramel sauce merged in with that chocolate.
I mean, yeah,
It is.
I'm kind of here for it. Honestly, that sounds pretty good.
I will find excuses to go to Baskin Robbins just to get gold medal ribbon.
You know, I don't go to
There's
Baskin Robbins that much, and that's probably why I don't know of it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
the very first time I ever had what's that other one? Cold Stone. The first time I ever had it was when the Geek Slaves came and visited me.
The only time I can remember is my niece was like, "I want Cold Stone." I'm like, "No," and I made her a promise of like, if you did this, and this, and she somehow I made them impossible.
Yeah,
she found a way to do all of them. I was like, "How?"
Yeah,
so I had to go buy her Cold Stone.
I mean, hey,
and it was only okay.
Yeah, I dig it. You made me super curious. I may have to try to go to a Baskin Robbins now.
It's that I love that so much, that ice cream. So it's unhealthy addiction.
Ice cream is in general, my friend.
Yes,
I get it.
No, but this one is like, ugh. This is far from healthy.
I've also got to give you the very first round of applause from EROE because typically everyone's answer is always mint chocolate chip, cookie dough. Geek had his toffee Heath bar crunch. But like that is definitely the most, I think, off the wall answer I've had for that question. So I can respect it.
I am very unexpected with my answers.
Hey, I love it. Well, let's keep that going, shall we? I'm going to hit you with a 2-parter. I need, and you can do either one first, whichever one comes to your head first. And if you feel like giving me a list for one of them, you may. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But regardless, I need your favorite video game that you're currently playing and your favorite video game of all time.
So, currently playing it's Baldur's Gate. I'm finally getting around to it. I started it when it first came out. And I'm like, I need to have the time to sit here and play it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's the kind of game where if you open it, there's a good chance 10 hours is going to fly by like 10 seconds.
100%.
So I haven't wanted to start it when I could get busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I have some time this week. I can start it at least. I finally found the character I want to play. And I'm rolling with it.
Are you?
Yes, Grayson, it's Mumpets.
Right.
Small pets, let's go.
It's Mumpets.
You're not playing Dumber? That sucks.
No, dude, I'm in love with Mumpets.
Muppets is great.
Mumpets has got an OP.
Okay.
He has like 20 strength, 19 dex, 20 con, 19 intelligence now.
Let's say, who was this? I don't think you've ever told me about this one.
Mumpets is my Miller football campaign
Oh, okay.
character. Who originally Miller fucked up with how he had us roll for stats,
Okay.
and he had us roll a d20.
Oh no.
and I rolled a nat 20 and an 18, and then I also rolled a 17.
Oh dear.
And then he recently gave me a magic item that bumps my intelligence to 19.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just you're just that guy.
I'm just that guy. And I was already fucking everything up.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Goliath barbarian.
Oh god.
And you and I have mentioned it once.
Yeah.
Because you're like, yeah. Because of Golfak.
Yep.
And I was already fucking stuff up. And that's before I realized I had 2 attacks, not 1.
Mm-hmm.
and then he got me. I got an early grade axe +2 as well.
No. No. God damn.
So like the last I fumbled
Uh-huh.
and I still did 11 damage.
Jeez. Gotta love it. Barbarians,
It's
man.
barbarians, man, and I haven't dropped below like 60 health all game.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
It's been unfair.
Yeah. No,
It's been unfair. Yeah.
It right in my feels, man. Golfrack.
Yeah,
my boy. I don't know why I did that like he's dead. He never died. We won.
Dummer, I love Dummer. I'd love to play Dummer through a full campaign eventually. Just to see his growth.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever will.
I mean, you have an opportunity coming up.
I love the character I have for you.
Hey yo.
I think if something happened to that character, Dummer's definitely the someone died, he's going to step in character.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely Dummer at this point.
I dig it. Well, I just want it to be known. First episode of Lost Mine of Fan Delver, I killed Miller. So
Yeah.
I keep
I'm
that up
ready.
there.
Dummer's ready to go.
Yeah.
Dummer. I think exploring him would be so fun with the background I had in mind for him that didn't get to be touched at all.
Let me reiterate that because I just realized how probably weird that sounds. In our fictional game of Dungeons and Dragons, I ended the life of Miller's fictional character.
Now you stab Miller. I'll sell it.
Yes.
So Dummer's always ready. Dummer's gonna be a character I keep around forever because Dummer's dumber.
Yeah,
he's dumber than anything. There's one character I keep campaigning to come back, but Miller and Geek would kill me if it comes back.
Oh no.
Grayson, do you not remember Campy? So, Evo, how much do you remember of the Geek episode? I mean, of where he said, I hated Caleb's character.
Yeah.
So I made this owl bear that was anti-violence, and that was like your perfect like flower girl.
Okay.
So she went around calling everyone bestie.
It got very annoying very quickly.
Bestie! And Geek had the dark eyes or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I nat 20'd looking into his eyes. So I saw butterflies, rainbows, and kittens.
Good lord.
So Geek hated that character so much.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Jesus.
But back on topic. Of all time, I think Minecraft has to get a mention.
Okay.
It's gonna be I'm gonna name off like 3 or 4. Minecraft's gotta get a mention. I think everyone, if you don't include Minecraft, you're lying to yourself. Everyone here knows they've played over 2,000 hours of Minecraft over the last few years.
Of the past few, I've been playing Minecraft for a minute, my man.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember like late summer nights being up till 5 a.m.
Yep.
Just playing Minecraft.
Building that castle and trying to not get blown up.
Doing some BS.
Yeah.
I'll always have the Batman Arkham series will always hold a place in my heart. Because that was the game that, like, as I was growing up, that was releasing.
Yeah.
And I loved every single one of them. Madden, I guess, because I play it every year and I always put up like 900 hours a year. And even though I always say I hate this game, I'm never playing it again. It drags me back I've already bought the next one.
Yep.
It drags me back every
Oh,
damn
man.
day.
Toxic relationship.
It's the most toxic relationship I keep coming back to. It's abusive. It's abusive.
I get it. I get it.
I just can't leave it. I'm that one girl on that TV show who keeps saying I hate him, but will never leave him. Otherwise, Overwatch, I always end up coming back to.
Okay. I didn't expect an Overwatch from you.
Yeah, I didn't expect an Overwatch from Caleb either.
I was playing it earlier today.
Okay, now pause.
Overwatch 2,
Main.
yes. Main, I am working towards Amalgamate at this point because they've made him way too OP.
Yeah. Now, I haven't played in a bit. I played when Malga came out. I played a little bit when the new girl, the one that can control like the ground.
Kitsune?
Oh,
No.
I can't think of a name. I can't think.
Yeah,
I know
she's
you're
got the
talking
big
about.
drill. She can go in.
Yes,
Yeah. I played a little bit when she came out, but like when her Overwatch first came out, man,
Oh my!
like
when Overwatch first came out, there's on Instagram deep down in the dungeons.
Mhm.
Me and my cousin made a fan account.
Oh, nice.
So there's a fan account of me and his Overwatch clips out there somewhere on Instagram.
That's awesome.
And I mean, I'm learning Malga because they made one of his abilities go from 60% damage heal to 100%. While he takes reduced damage.
Yeah.
And that's when he was already the best tank in the game, and they just made him stronger.
Mhm.
My best is by far Diva.
I do love Diva.
I
Love
played Diva when I was playing on system.
Yeah.
And Diva's a lot reaction and instinct based and not really skill based.
Mm-hmm.
So the transition to PC was just how are my instincts, and they're the same as they were.
You see, I'm a Reinhardt guy. I'm a Reinhardt guy now. I was a massive Roadhog main. Roadhog was my boy, and then they fucked them up.
Oh yeah, they sold Road. I played Ryan on, and if I play on Station, I will play Reinhardt. I just have not been able to make that switch on PC.
That's fair.
It's just that's the character. I don't know if it's my mouse not moving as quick as my controller does, or my the button clicks are not as fast as they should be. It just hasn't correlated.
Yeah, I understand. But any others to add to that list?
I guess I'll wrap it up there. I'll give a shout out to Destiny.
Okay.
I'll give a shout out to Destiny. It's the only first person shooter I feel like I'm better than everyone at.
Fair enough. All right, well, there you go. That's question number 2. Moving on to 3. This one's a toughie for some. Now, again, you can give me a list. I don't think I've had one person on this show that's been able to just give me one movie and call it a day. But your top movie of all time.
So I'm about to cheat here because it's a franchise.
Yeah.
It's the whole Fast and Furious franchise. I want to be clear. It's not because the movies are good.
Right.
My mom and I talked about this the other night. If we didn't have the Fast and Furious movies, we do not know what me, her, and my brother relationship wise would be.
Okay.
There's a lot of those movies just bring us together. We've all watched all of them like 20 times together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like when we put our dog down, the first thing we did is go watch Fast and Furious 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like that, it's like Fast and Furious has been such like a that holds us together movie.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Franchise.
Yeah, that's surprisingly humble, or not humble.
Yeah. It's,
what's the word I'm looking for? We'll go sweet.
We'll go sweet. Yeah, it's sweet.
Say again. Wholesome. Brackle coming in clutch.
Brackle with the save.
Brackle with the save. Surprisingly humble. God damn it.
Yeah. Wholesome.
I run 2 podcasts. Can you tell?
I mean, I can't go without mentioning. I feel like Infinity War, the best in my mind, the best of the first phase Marvel movies.
The first phase was the first 6 movies.
Well, no, I mean the first
the best of the 10 years.
The first 10 years before they moved on to Love and Thunder, and then the rest of them.
Yeah.
Episode 3 of Star Wars will always be my favorite episode.
Man, Okay.
Yeah.
I still think it. Huh?
What?
Huh?
No.
I still think it's the age. I think it's an age thing.
It's an AIDS thing. I agree.
Don't get it twisted. I love episode 3 too, but like Empire is always my favorite.
Oh yeah, no, it's an age thing. It's what were you correlating to when it came out?
It's like the Spider-Man. Like, a lot
Yeah,
of people say his favorite is Toby because they grew up with Toby, but then like the next generation it's like Andrew, and now
It's
it's
Andrew.
like Holland.
it's Andrew.
Like,
Andrew's
me,
the best.
Yeah, me and Caleb will see Andrew, but you'll probably like Toby.
Well, it depends. Can I add in the original animated from the 1990s?
I know, I'm talking live action.
Live action.
Then
Live
yeah,
action.
Toby.
Because Josh Keaton
Yeah.
is the
Because I'm sorry,
ultimate
Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire is arguably the best superhero movie ever made. Like,
I can't. I don't blame you there. I
Actually,
think
don't.
it was Andrew was the cool kid on the block
yeah.
growing up. Was like, yeah, this is my Spider-Man.
I will say I like
And-
those movies. I do.
Oh, he got robbed of a third.
Yeah, I do, especially with the setup at the ending of the second one. I wish he could have got a
Yeah.
third, but
He should have gotten a third.
I've read the synopsis for what the third one was going to be, and it was going to be dog shit.
oh, I mean,
Yeah, but then it would have been the movie shit. But Andrew's still an amazing Spider-Man.
fair.
Because Andrew's role would have been perfection somehow, even if he
Mhm.
had the worst lines possible.
yeah.
Because he just loves Spider-Man.
Oh, who did they cast to play Rhino? Because
I don't
because
recall.
that I'm gonna look up his name because that casting
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti as Rhino is the greatest casting decision I've ever seen. Like the second I saw that, I was like, "Yeah, this needs to happen." Obviously,
Yeah. and then they casted the Green Goblin as who they casted the Green
Dane
Goblin as.
DeHaan.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
For every win, you have a massive L.
yeah. It's definitely
It's
definitely a choice.
It's yeah.
Any others to add to that list, though?
The Batman,
Okay.
the Robert Pattinson one, the one I was like, this is gonna be the worst Batman we ever have because I saw Robert Pattinson.
Trust me, I was on that bandwagon too.
Robert.
I was up,
And then I watched it and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Respect Robert.
I mean, other than that, I don't really have anything more to add off the top of my mind.
sparkly boy. All right, fair enough, man. I dig it. So, all right, we're gonna move on from movies to music. I feel like I've never actually like explained this because like obviously I start you off with ice cream, then we go video games, then we go movies, then we go music. The 4 biggest parts of your life.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh, absolutely.
like you listen to music every single day. You'll watch a movie at least once a week. If you're a gamer, you play a video game at least once a week.
Oh, once a day.
Exactly. And I mean, if you're me, you eat ice cream once a day.
I need to eat
Maybe.
ice cream more.
Maybe.
I probably shouldn't, but I need to eat ice cream more.
I agree. But let's go on to your top 10 playlist. So, for my viewers, for my listeners, this is a Spotify playlist that you can find down in the description below or linked somewhere down there. It will be linked. It's also, you can find a link to it on the socials over at Small Talks with the Big Guy over on Twitter or X, whatever your prerogative. This is basically, I ask my guests every single time to make me a top 10 playlist of either songs that they love, songs that they currently like, favorites of all time, whatever it be. This playlist has absolutely no rhythm. This playlist is madness.
I made this and I'm like, man, Evo's reaction is gonna be
Gotta go
hilarious
look
because
at
I can
this.
guarantee you this
You-
is not what you expected.
Not really, but honestly, I'll be honest, I had no idea what to expect from you. I kind of knew what to expect from Duck. I also, like, if I'm talking past guests, One Orion Battery, I knew what to expect from him. Jedi Joker 93, I knew what to expect from him. Everyone else has been kind of not sure where they're going to go. And I will say, this is definitely all over, and I dig it.
It always comes back to when Geek looked at the Spotify reviews of the year,
Yep.
and he saw mine. And he's like, "Who the fuck is this?" And he said like 8 names and none of them are mine.
Yeah.
And his shock was hilarious.
Yeah. See, I didn't send him
Artemis?
mine. I wish I would have. I hope he does that again this year.
I think he will.
Was
It's
it
fun
Artist
content.
Big Time Rush?
Yeah, mine was. And there's not a Big Time Rush song on here.
No, not one.
It's like my music taste is weird.
That's for sure. I'm looking at it.
But excuse me. Let's go through this together. You can like I'm gonna name off the song, name off the artist, obviously. You can just kind of give me like why it's on the list. You can tell me in as detailed as you want, or as Duck did in the last episode. It's a good song. It's a banger.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. It's completely your prerogative. But let's start off. Skywalking. The Astronomers, I think I'm saying that right, and Zach Paradis.
It is by far my favorite song out right now.
Okay.
I remember there was like 3 TikTok songs that got 2 big TikTok songs got released. And I was like, I stand and I will die by this. This song's better than both. And I got in a 30-minute argument with a friend. I'm like, since when do you hear a song talking about walking in space in the Millennium Falcon within 10 seconds of each other?
Right.
It's a great song.
Bless you, by the way, Grace.
Thank you.
This one took me for a loop because I haven't heard this song, I don't think, since I used it for the one time they used it for the Hall of Fame ceremony.
False. You've heard it on a TikTok for Curb Stomp.
Oh, okay.
You definitely have. I've used it a few times.
That's fair.
Yes, he definitely
That's
has.
fair. That's fair. I'll be honest. I don't listen to the music. I listen to y'all talk. And I listen to you.
That's also the point.
And I listen to you get Caleb'd.
That was my favorite comment by far. You're like, he got Caleb. and Grace is like, what the fuck does that mean?
Hey, just be like, you know.
Yeah,
Hall of Fame, the script featuring Will I Am.
I played football forever, and this was like sports forever. This was on every single pregame playlist I had. I just love this song. It was like a 2 years, like it's probably was my favorite song for 2 years. Which for someone who never has a favorite song for more than a month, is really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
I just love the message of the song. It's like everything. I love every part about it.
That's fair. There's a dog.
There's a dog.
He did this when we were recording Dueling Fates this weekend too.
Oh,
For both episodes.
Didn't
So.
he? He did it during Curb Stomp too, didn't he?
Hello?
I think he did it during Curb Stomp as well.
I'm just trying to get up. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that right now. We're not doing that right now. I love you, bud, but no, we're not doing that.
For
He
the
does that
listeners, Duck's got a dog trying to get on his lap, and it's definitely not a lap dog. Pause.
No.
That's fair, man. That's a banger of a song, and honestly,
It's a banger
I'm
of a
going to add
song.
that to my personal playlist because up
Oh,
until
yeah.
this moment, I kind of forgot about it.
Oh yeah.
But perfect. Specifically, the acoustic version by Ed Sheeran.
So, and it ties into the next one. I like songs with really good lyrics.
Okay.
Like lyrics I just love, especially when it's sang by someone who sings it right. There's these people who like some of the lyrics would try to like powerhouse it. Ed just sits there. You can feel like he's like sitting by a campfire with a guitar, just singing,
Like he did in Game of Thrones.
like he did in Game of Thrones, like anyone would. Like he's just being a casual human doing it.
Mhm.
I love the lyrics. I always say, if I get made, this is the song I'm dancing to. It's like it's my favorite Ed Sheeran song by far.
That's fair. Let's say I don't listen to a whole lot of Ed Sheeran. I have heard of some of his top hits, I would say, that being one of them for sure. But all right, Marry Me, Thomas Rhett.
I'll pass.
That's fucking rude, my guy.
You're already
Um,
married.
That's true.
Thomas Rhett is my favorite country star. I grew up with country,
Okay.
and I didn't know Thomas Rhett existed until it just came on my TV while I was listening to music. I listened to this song 10 times in a row when I first heard it.
Yeah.
I still listen to it way more than I probably should. It's just, I love the song. It's so simple.
I get it. I do. I say, being someone who has just realized that he's a Brantley Gilbert fan, I can understand it. Little do you know, Alex and Sierra.
So this song, I think of a friend I had in high school. Her and I, no, Grace, that's not who you think it is. So
I wasn't thinking that in the first place because you just
her and
met
I
her.
didn't talk much. We went to school all 3 years, elementary, middle school, different high schools, and I don't know how we started talking again. Genuinely just happened,
Mm-hmm.
and I think every time we mentioned the word "little," one of us would start doing the song, singing the song. So it's like it holds a place in my heart because I think of that.
I can respect it. Mockingbird by Eminem.
Banger.
Probably one of my favorite Eminem songs.
It goes love song, love song, love song, Eminem.
This is a love song too. It's just to his daughter.
Yes, but it's slow love song, slow love song, Eminem rapping.
It's not really rap, but it's still like it's pretty
But
slow.
it's Eminem. It's at the same time it's Eminem. It's my favorite Eminem song.
Mm-hmm.
Eminem's my favorite rapper of all time. This is my favorite song. I couldn't leave M off this list.
Yeah, no, definitely. Double XL, Keith Anderson.
I think you'd like this song
Okay.
because it's funny as shit. I've always been bigger. I'm 6'5".
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I've always been bigger, and lines like "I'm a lean, mean love machine that likes to get held," or "Don't call me on the phone, ring my dinner bell." It's like my mom introduced me to that song. It's like it just talks about how this guy's just really big,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a double X. He wears a double XL. It's just awesome. I laugh every time I listen to this song uncontrollably.
I'll have to check that one out. I dig that. Viva La Vida, Coldplay.
This song always pisses me off because I am a horrible singer. But God, if you tell me I'm a horrible singer while I'm singing this song, I do not believe you. I convince myself I sound like Coldplay.
Okay.
I will sing it. I will, for some reason, I want a confidence boost and record it, and then my confidence will go to an all-time low again.
Been there.
But it's like, I feel like I can sing the song so well.
Fair enough.
It's
This Town, Niall Horan.
Niall
Niall
Horn.
Horn. Okay.
He was from One Direction.
Oh, gotcha.
I think of a friend I made within the last year. Grayson, shut the fuck up. And this is her and I's favorite song to listen to together by far. It's so sweet and caring, and how you don't care. It's like I don't care if the whole town is watching.
Mm-hmm.
I still will love you. If we're dancing, if we're doing this, that, I'll still love you no matter what. No matter who's watching, I'm not ashamed of it.
Okay.
I love the message.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes. And then number 10, last but not least, Figure You Out, Viola.
I just love the song. It's that
This is
simple.
hard.
You know the song, Grayson?
No, I'm listening to it right now. It goes hard.
Yes, it's a really good song. It's like I wish there's some logical, I feel like all of these have had logical reasoning behind them. I just love the song.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like I said at the beginning, man. Sometimes it's just,
Oh yeah.
that's all you need. That's the easiest reason behind it all.
And I will say, it took me about it took so long because I think I made 4 versions of this playlist.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
I think I was talking to Grayson. We recorded and we were talking another night, and I was making the playlist both of those nights.
I'm like, dude, it's not that hard.
The name of the playlist is not a joke.
Yeah.
Evo's making me pick I Hate It.
Yep.
It's not a joke.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times someone's looked at me after I said I need a top 10 playlist, and they're like, "You need a fucking what?"
Yeah, I was not happy.
Yeah, no, already
I was very much not happy.
already hated me specifically very much for that entire part.
I could make 3 different versions of it.
Yep.
And each song would have a different meaning.
Yep. That's the best part, though. And I've thought about if you come back to the podcast, make a new top 10. You can't reuse a single song. I have thought about that, and maybe that is something. Maybe that is something I'll implement later down the line. But
yeah,
I don't know. But I respect it, man. That's a solid top 10. Some people I've never heard of, a couple people that I listen to almost regularly, and then a couple, I dig it. I respect it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go from loving, caring music to we're gonna hit you in the feels, for sure. All my listeners, all my watchers. Caleb, it's a fucked up world out there, man. Obviously, we're not going to get into specific reasons, but it's a lot of negativity out there. It's a crazy world to be alive in these days. And with this answer, I feel like it's usually around the same gimmick, but it's okay. I love to ask this question.
I escaped the gimmick for this one on purpose.
Oh, okay.
I escaped the purpose.
But Caleb, if you had one thing to tell the world, what would that one thing be?
I guess it's more advice. It's surround yourself with the right people. There's people out there who claim they want to see you succeed, when in reality they just want to succeed because you're succeeding. And there's people out there who want to see you succeed because they care for you. They just want to see you succeed. Find the difference between the people who want you to succeed or the people who are going to use you once you succeed. That's the key in happiness.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I know that from experience. That's why I said it.
Hey, no, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
I know the feeling all too well. But that, ladies and gentlemen, I need to go get like one of those movie things.
Yeah.
That is another edition of the EROE's Top 5. Caleb, GG's.
Yeah.
GG's.
I survived.
You did.
I'm not a robot. I beat the algorithm.
So far,
the allegations.
So far, no one has been a robot, which is disappointing. One of these days, I might actually get a robot on here.
Man, the reaction of them just disappearing as soon as you say it's to find if you're a robot or not.
They just leave the call.
They just leave the call.
There we go.
Should have done that, damn it. The comedic relief.
Would have been good stuff. Let's get back into the topic that everyone knew that we were coming for this episode. Because I have a very specific thing I would like to ask you both your opinion on. And I assume that it's going to be roughly the same opinion, but someone take a bump in your room?
My dog's tail is very violent, so when he gets up and thrusts around, he'll hit like my cases and just hit the wall today. Apparently,
got one of those dogs with a steel tail. Yeah, I had one of those dogs growing up.
Yeah, not the one who just tried to climb up. The other one.
Yeah. No easy way to put it. Tribalism is very much a fucking thing that we deal with on a regular basis in the world of professional wrestling. Bless you. It's I don't know. It's dumb personally for me, being how I'm an avid fan of more than one federation, more than one organization, more than one, I don't know, company. A lot of people don't. I guess I can't get it through their brain that you're allowed to like more than one. But I just kind of want your opinion on tribalism in the world of professional wrestling.
I hate it. Like, I don't get why it's either WWE can succeed or AEW can succeed. It's the two coexisting are better for. They're going to compete against each other. Just that's how it naturally goes.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to want to put the best product out. I mean, we saw it with WWE. Pre-AEW, they were lazier. They were not trying as hard. Since this competition rose, we got the peak of the Bloodline story. We have all this drama of, Cody Rhodes is the first wrestler to come over from AEW to WWE. We have this. Now, Avery signing's a big deal. It's no longer cool. They went here. It's now they didn't choose the other place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't get it. Why can't wrestlers just go where they want to go and not get judged for it? It's like instantly if, say, for some reason Seth Rollins left WWE tomorrow and went to AEW, half of WWE's fans would just say, fuck you, Seth Rollins. We don't like you anymore. Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Just stop. Two promotions can exist.
Personally, I think that as one company doing well is best for all of wrestling. Doesn't matter if AEW is doing well, it means WWE is going to be doing well. If WWE is doing well, AEW is going to be doing well. We've seen that over the last few years. There's been a big boom in the amount of just wrestling in general that's been coming out lately. I went to a New Japan show, not because I'm a big fan of New Japan, but because I wanted to watch wrestling in person. And the amount of CM Punk shirts I saw when they knew that Jack Perry was going to be in the building was insane. I'm also from Chicago, so that's might be the reason why. But the fact of the matter is that when wrestling is booming, no matter what company it is, it's good for everyone. And even it's, and me and Caleb talked about this plenty of times on the podcast. There's different segments of like wrestling organizations do best in one like area in general. WWE does stories really, really well. AEW puts on the better matches. New Japan is fucking crazy when it does both. So there's things for everyone. It's just whatever one you prefer is great. And I know you want to have the wrestler that you've been like begging for, like Stephanie McCurr went to WWE. I thought it was a long shot for her to come to WWE. And now that she is here, I'm like super happy because I prefer WWE over AEW. But if she went to AEW, I'd be watching AEW just because she was on there. So it's best for everyone when wrestling is doing well.
Yeah. Agreed. No, I definitely dig that. It's such a wild time to be a fan of professional wrestling, especially like right now, because like we've got shit happening that not in a million years I thought I ever would have saw. Like,
oh no,
like I mean, for example, you can ask my wife. We were watching NXT the other night, and I literally looked at her and I went, Ethan Page is wrestling Joe Hendry in an NXT ring.
Yeah.
What?
Say that's just anyone 1 year ago.
No,
like,
and
it's Joe Hendry.
Yeah, that too.
It's
That's
6 months ago, even.
Yeah. No, it is an absolutely insane time to be a professional wrestling fan. We have more wrestling now, like available to the general public than I think we have ever had. And especially with, there's always rumors about TNA trying to get to a better network so they can be better distributed. There's talks of AEW trying to get to a streaming platform for all of their last stuff. Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor was arguably
big yawn.
It's a very big yawn. Tony Khan purchasing Ring of Honor was obviously one of the best things that could have happened to Ring of Honor in the past decade. I mean, you have New Japan still being New Japan. The WWE is arguably as hot as it's ever been, potentially even hotter than it was in the Attitude Era. It is an insane time to be a professional wrestling fan, and I can't get it through any more clear that I think tribalism is just the dumbest shit imaginable, just because of all the immense amounts of talent that we have available to be able to watch. And that's good.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. And then I look at like tribalism, like how much is it holding us back from that forbidden door?
Right.
It feels like when it first started, there's a couple shots taken, but then there's that dry spell of they just coexisted, and the conflict between the two was no longer company and company. It felt more WWE fan or AEW fan.
Yeah,
that people wouldn't accept being a fan of both. Well, I feel like we could be in a whole different place when it comes to this whole. We talk about how once a year forbidden door between WWE and AEW would just, could break record sales rise. Because it'd be the first time we have two completely different fan bases merging into one and watching it.
Yeah.
Is how much of it is really just the fans holding us back from something this legendary?
Well, because I mean, you even look at, you know, when they started bringing the TNA product to, I mean, Jordan Grace, Mickie James showing up in the Royal Rumbles, like that like, there's no way.
Joe Hendry.
Well, it like going back to the first sighting of TNA talent actually coming to the WWE. Granted, I didn't see the first women's Rumble with Mickie James, where she came out with.
I think that she wasn't in with Impact at the time. She was a free agent.
But she
was with Impact.
But she had an Impact title.
She did. She had the title,
women's
but she was a free agent at the time.
Okay,
that's why she was able to come over.
gotcha.
There was no like,
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that I didn't know. All I knew is that she had a TNA title around her waist.
Yeah.
But like even going to that point of having a champion from another company in the WWE, I thought was just wild. But then you go back to this most recent Royal Rumble for the women's, and you've got Mickie James, you've got Jordan Grace, Naomi obviously coming back. Insane. The TNA Knockouts champion in the Royal Rumble, sitting across the ring, taking pictures with Rhea Ripley backstage, like something I never would have thought. And then, of course, now you've got Joe Hendry. Now you've got the Radicals showing up and getting together again with Wes Lee, which is super awesome. You've got all these guys from WWE going to different companies. It's a hell of a time. It's a hell of a time.
And it's not even like ignoring. Like in the past, if you were on a brand, you ignored what happened on the other brand. We look at Jordan Grace, and it was like in the midst of the Liv Rhea thing. She tweeted, "If this doesn't end in a custody of Dom Mats, we have all failed." That doesn't happen 10 years ago with any brand.
No,
you don't hit tweet on that button. And it's like it's just crazy to think of how in the last 5 years alone, we went from brands have to be their own entity to, yeah, we're going to work together because the fans love it more. Not because we want it, it's the fans. That's what they care about in the end.
Yeah. Now, I think back to, I couldn't tell you what year it was, but the Highlanders, back in the day, they're an old tag team if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Which by the looks of your faces, I would assume that you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Nope, not in the slightest.
They were a, Viking-ish tag team. They were way more of a comedy gimmick than anything else. But they had a couple matches. They were a squash tag team. That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah.
One of them went to a TNA taping, and they showed him live on television. And it was whatever his actual name was with WWE Superstar, and they were fired that next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you take that, and then nowadays it's crazy. But as we get ready to wrap up, I asked about Dueling Fates, obviously, in the last episode, like some of your aspirations, some of your goals, inspirations, whatnot. What are some goals, like long-term, for Curb Stomp?
Caleb, I know you're a lot more the goals person.
I mean, so early on, yeah. But that's back when we were like, by 1 year, we want 100 subscribers. That was back then, not, oh yeah, we are well past 100 and we are still 2 months from 1 year. It's like a whole different level of, hey, there's what we expected versus reality. And like I'd say 1,000 by year 2, but it's like, if that feels crazy to say. So to me it's more just keep doing what we're doing. Obviously whatever we're doing is working,
right?
And it's not just stop, and it's just keep that up. I know we made the drastic change out of nowhere of like no shorts to 3 shorts a week to now every day. You're pretty much every day but Sunday you're getting a short.
Unless I'm stupid and forget.
unless we do have a GM mode, which we haven't recorded in a hot minute.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, just keep doing what we're doing. The shorts take 10 minutes to record, if that. Like, just don't stop that.
I eventually want to be able to interview a wrestler on an episode, like when we have a like a week where like nothing's happening. I floated the idea out to Caleb like when the Royal Rumble happened, like Jordan Grace would be great. I think she might be a little too big now since the whole NXT like crossover happened. But like interviewing like an indie wrestler or like a TNA, or if we could get a hold of like an NXT level up person, would be amazing. I like a dream shot, like get a top guy like Roman Reigns. Never gonna happen, but like
Or even a
shot.
Javon Evans.
Javon Evans would be amazing.
I mean,
Javon
hey,
Evans would be a blast.
I mean, hey, J. Beeb said it best. Never say never.
Yeah.
I get it. But that's like one of my long-term goals is to get a wrestler to interview for both of us.
Yeah.
We eventually plan on having like a few other things happen going forward. But
Oh, long term, if we had to single out one wrestler, it has to be Undertaker.
he is like kind of like our
Like, he
mascot.
is the embodiment of Curb Stomp, it feels like.
Okay.
We have a running joke of Mount Taker. Like we have merch of Mount Taker.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
Mount Taker and Mount Oscar, the two.
Yes.
I don't think I knew that Curb Stomp even had merch, so.
Yeah, we stopped
We don't
plugging
push
it.
it.
We don't push it.
Okay.
We ever since I've done outros, I've started to push it, and Grace is like, "Oh, we're doing that again."
Fair
Well,
enough.
like,
But
yeah, Mount Oscar, Mount Taker are kind of like our running joke throughout the time. And every time we mention them, those are two things.
and I think Mount Taker's like episode 2 old.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
It's like episode 1, episode 2. We were talking about Undertaker for some reason.
Oscar's like episode 20 something. I think.
Oscar's like when someone started pushing the agenda of Oscar's not that good.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So she responded with the graphic of like, I'm this many times Raw's Women's Champion. I'm a 2-time SmackDown. I missed Money in the Bank. I'm an 8-time Women's Tag Champion. I won the Royal Rumble. I went on I was 52-0 or whatever she ended up getting to.
Mhm.
She posted that graphic herself as a comeback, and I'm like, dude, we don't realize how much Oscar's actually done in like a decade.
Right.
Like this is like Becky Lynch has been here for like 14 years and doesn't even have this.
There you go. Obviously, like I feel like I know just as well as anyone else how bad like burnout can get. But it seems that you two have this drive to keep pushing forward. Like, what drives that inspiration? What drives that passion?
I mean,
I'm just having fun.
Yeah, Caleb's like, hey, we're recording this day. I'm like, yeah, we're recording that day because now you made an obligation for me. Because my brain, like, there's a reason why I haven't posted on my personal channel in like 2 months.
It's like, and it was a funny conversation Grayson and I had of Grayson. It was before we really knew each other,
Mm-hmm.
and Grayson just casually dropped like around episode 30. He's like, I thought we were gonna go 10 episodes and you were gonna drop out.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I
like,
thought.
I can't function like that.
Yeah.
If I commit to something, I'm gonna be there. I will find a way, and I'm not gonna tap out unless it's my personal YouTube channel.
I understand.
Like 4 months in running, no uploads.
Love it.
But like, Curb Stomp's like it started as a joke.
It was an absolute joke.
I just casually dropped it. What Grayson doesn't know is we're gonna start a WWE podcast,
Okay.
just casually
See,
in
the
our
thing-
D&D group.
Mhm.
He didn't realize I've been wanting to do one, and I had a name ready.
And then the next day, I got name. I got the image. The next episode, we were recorded within like 3 days of the joke.
We did.
Okay.
And
It's a
the
lot
episode, I looked today. It was from the joke to first upload was 10 days.
It was legitimately the anti-dueling fates type of like progression.
Oh, jeez.
We just went 0 to 100
Yeah.
and
just
never looked back.
stop.
We missed, I think, we missed one episode.
Yeah, I believe so. And then I missed an additional episode that's wanted to fill in for me.
Which was honestly I thought we were gonna miss that too because the night it was gonna get recorded I sprained my ankle, so I had to go to. But we thought it was broken, so I had to go to the hospital.
Jesus.
It was I genuinely was like, damn, we're gonna miss 2 in a row. And honestly, I think we might have been better off missing 2 in a row. And you
Somehow
look back,
we end up catching up at some point.
Yeah.
I have no idea how or when, but
I look back at like I can't watch that episode. And like there's like
episode 9. I know what
yeah, I
episode it is.
can't go back and watch it. I wish we would have found a different.
Dude.
I all love to who we had,
Mhm.
I wish we would have tried to get a U last second or Geek last second.
Oh, okay.
It's not his fault because it was last minute, but he hadn't been up to date with what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was during the Drew's teaming with Judgment Day thing.
Oh, okay.
This is
And
Crown
I
Jewel.
knew
It's
I was
Ray
in
of Crown
trouble
Jewel.
when I dropped it before we record, and he's like, "Wait, Drew's with Judgment Day now?"
Yeah.
I knew I was in trouble from that second.
Yeah, that's
It's
fair.
the
hard to
shortest
watch.
episode.
It's hard to watch the early episodes.
Oh
in
my
general.
god,
Like
it is
after,
so hard.
after episode 15, I can start like actually rewatching them, but like
I get
Once
it.
I got
do.
my setup, once I got my actual setup, it was so much better.
Yeah.
Before I was back on the couch behind me with a 2-year-old laptop and using a $10 microphone
Oh,
and my laptop webcam.
yeah.
And like nowadays, it's like I have the setup, and like Grayson's always had the setup. It's just I will say it's
different
my
setup
fault.
at the beginning.
Different setup.
My living situation.
Yeah, but it's like it's so much better now.
Mm.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You could barely see me with how bad my camera was.
It was pretty bad.
I get it. Because trust me, the early days of Hit the Go Home were definitely not great. But
Yeah.
that was mainly because of choice of content. Going over a week's worth of wrestling the day before the week ends is definitely not a great method. But we were figuring shit out. So
Oh yeah, I mean we still are.
Yeah.
I feel like every week something somewhat changed. We've gone to the point where it's like we do this first and then we go to this.
Mhm.
No,
And
really,
then-
like this last week, we mentioned the stuff that happened in AEW. Like consistently, we had to talk about it. Like in the episode, we forgot about it.
Because we recorded on Friday
Mhm.
We did.
and it goes up on Saturday.
It was definitely a.
So and we
First
recorded
round.
the previous one the last Wednesday. So we had 9 days of stuff to cover.
Mhm.
It was already almost a 2-hour episode. And it would have been our first non-Mania episode to go over 2 hours.
Yeah. Jeez.
And it's like we forgot AEW. I had this game set up we could have done.
Mhm.
And it's like we did neither, and we could have easily hit 2:30 if we did both.
Yeah.
So it's like we kind of have a thing, a like order of how we're doing things now, which is so much better than when we started.
Mhm.
It was, hey, we're going to talk about this, and then we go off topic and come back to like we talk about, for example, like something like R-Truth made a funny joke, blah blah blah. Somehow get to Cody Rhodes in the Bloodline, and then circle back to R-Truth. It felt like,
Mhm.
and now we don't do that. Grayson foes.
It's happened a few times
Nice.
for him.
Yeah, this is the first long one. We'll just sit here and judge him.
See. There he is.
There
Yeah,
he is.
This happens.
I will say, I don't think it happened at all during Dueling Fates.
No, but because I had a power outage, like shortly after Dueling Fates episode, and all of a sudden my internet does not know how to act, so
Nice.
I have to go talk to people. And I really
Love
don't wanna talk
that.
to people.
Love that for you. Love that for you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But,
Yeah.
all right. I think we're going to wrap it up. Curb Stomp Pod, where can they find you?
The Curb Stomp Podcast is available on all major platforms and social media. I think it's Curb Stomp Pod, like straight up pod on Instagram and Twitter. Everywhere else, it's the Curb Stomp Podcast. I'm pretty sure.
That sounds right.
I want to say so. But it's the Curb Stomp Podcast on YouTube. Most definitely, I know that for sure.
And on Spotify, I know that for
and-
sure.
Yeah. And we release episodes every Saturday. We're supposed to be releasing GM mods every Sunday, but I'm too lazy to be editing because I'm. That's honest.
And then if we find something worthy of it, we upload a clips from the episode on the following Wednesday.
Wednesdays at noon.
There you go. Where can they find you both personally, if you'd like?
Mainly Caleb A94 on Twitter, and then I do stream the Big K called Game.
Just from my gimmick.
I do that very irregularly though,
Mm-hmm.
so there's a 50% chance it'd be like 3 days if you look it up since I last streamed. There's a chance I'm live. I don't have a schedule. It's funner that way.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
I'm the Bat Duck on YouTube, and I'm the Bat Duck _ on most of my platforms. Mostly on Twitter. I'm always just yapping on Twitter. When I usually interact with Caleb, arguing about some stupid shit.
That's fair.
I think he's looking up an argument already.
Oh my god! Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on the shit that we had the other day.
Oh god.
That shit genuinely frustrated me when you revealed that.
Yeah, shut up.
However, before we get out of here, I do have one thing I would like to ask the Curb Stomp podcast.
That's their name, yeah.
Because I tried to do this for this past WrestleMania, and I was unsuccessful. And I would maybe like to try to get something somewhat regularly scheduled. Obviously, we'll have to find some more people if we can. But being as how I'm also a host for my own wrestling podcast over at Hit the Go Home, I would like to offer an invitation for a Hit the Go Home X Curb Stomp Pod collaboration.
You're not supposed to sit the X, bro. You know you're not supposed to sit the X, right?
It's whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't see why not.
Yeah, I mean, scheduling. It'd just be scheduling.
yeah,
it.
obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not against it at all in the slightest. Like-
So initially, when I thought of this idea to have a giant group of people all talking the shit about something, I thought maybe like a big thing would be every WrestleMania, every Royal
Yeah.
Rumble, every SummerSlam. Get a bunch of group of people together, because I feel like you don't have those kinds of gatherings for your backlashes.
Oh, no.
Your your money in the
No.
banks, stuff like that. But I feel like for stuff like that, stuff like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, I feel like we could cook something up, as the kids say.
I feel like it'd just be funny WrestleMania if it's like, for example, it's Hit the Go Home, it's us, and we get Geek.
Because we
Okay.
geek in
And
our
it's just
WrestleMania
at
episode.
one point, Geek's in our WrestleMania episode even.
Yeah.
If it's all four of us yelling at Grayson over something stupid he said. It's what happened.
Yeah.
And it would just be great. It would just be great. It would be hilarious looking back on it.
Now, obviously, I haven't asked my fellow co-host Jedi Joker 93, but I'm sure he'll have no issue in the slightest.
I can confirm from one quick conversation he had is he also is having the same idea, because he briefly mentioned the idea of a crossover.
Yeah, let's say he and I have had some conversations, but he's also on vacation this week, so I'm not going to be able to talk to him at all.
Oh yeah, no, he and I were VC for like 10 minutes. And the first thing he brought up was, what do you think about this? I'm like, I mean, yeah, if we schedule it, I'm absolutely down.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then one final thing before I ask my last question, Duck,
What's my name?
what happened to an idea that you threw at me forever ago? You even remember?
Idea.
You don't
Oh,
remember?
the idea?
There you
yeah,
go.
there it is. Yeah, that idea got scrapped quite quickly because we realized they didn't have any long-term chances at surviving. We thought maybe 6 episodes would exist, and then it would just vanish.
Okay.
Caleb had sent it around to you. It was your series.
Oh, the longevity was the issue.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded the first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We at least hold ourselves to a standard,
Mhm.
and a lot of the first 2 episodes was us ripping names that were wrong, or just sitting there in complete silence as we thought.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, looking back on it, it was a great concept. If we eventually rework it,
Mhm.
it'll be great.
Yeah.
With the way we were doing it then and there,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
it was not going to work.
We do have something planned that's kind of like that, but it's not centered around Caleb, that we would like to invite you on to. We have to record it basically a month beforehand, so I can get the editing process down.
You're gonna have to repeat. You're gonna have to repeat pretty much half of that.
I got you, Grayson, since you lagged.
Yeah.
So we do have something in the works right now.
Okay.
Vain,
And
but
there's 3 names we had thought for this. You're one of the 3.
Okay.
Grayson, do we want to say what it is right here
just
and now?
fuck it, because like I don't know how. Yeah, just say fuck it.
No, fuck it. So,
here we go.
What we're thinking. So we had been planning this for the last like 3 months. And it was originally going to be you and Geek.
Okay.
It was originally going to be you two, and it was a Curb Stomp Jeopardy.
Oh, okay.
We were going to do a Curb Stomp Censored Jeopardy about just stuff on the podcast that happened, wrestling and all that. It's like, and we kept saying we'll get around to it, until I mentioned, what if it's a 1-year thing?
Mhm.
So we're like, we need 3 different levels of people. We know for sure watch all the TikToks, and you'll have this advantage. You're the expert. Geek's been on an episode. He watches wrestling. He's the middle tier.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Miller Football, who does not watch wrestling. He does not touch wrestling.
Okay.
And the analogy was, someone tweeted, why doesn't Drew McIntyre just eat everyone else in the ring? And Grayson's like, that's exactly how Miller thinks about wrestling. and it's like, it'd be you two battling for first, and then just the pure entertainment value of Miller trying to get something right.
That would be really funny. I'll give you that. That's
good. So we're
good.
like, that's our 1 year. So it'd be sometime in August is probably when we'd record it.
Okay.
And
Because we're
release
still
late
2 months.
September.
We're still 2 months away from the 1 year, and
Definitely.
we still have to set up the board, and it gives us more time for like something that would make it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is our official invitation to you, Evo, for joining us for that.
I'm 100% there. 100% there. I love it. And like you said, Caleb, as long as we get it scheduled, I'm there.
Oh yeah, with that bunch, we will find a way to get that scheduled.
Definitely. That sounds
The
awesome.
humor alone of that, of like you and Geek getting annoyed at Miller saying some random wrestler name that doesn't exist.
I
Like,
kind of hope he takes it the direction that I take with him and Geek every single time they talk about sports. Because every single time they talk about football, I always throw up like Uncle Rico or Bobby Boucher or Ricky
Just for the
Bobby.
Crusher from Spider-Man.
he only knows one. He knows their names if we mention them because of Grayson and I. The only one he really knows is Braun Breaker. That's because he played fullback in college.
He also knows Rhea Ripley though, because
He knows Rhea Ripley too. But that's all he knows.
That's crazy.
And it'll be hilarious.
Yeah. Need to get him to watch The Wrestler before so he can just name Randy the Ram on everything.
he drop a Nacho Libre. He'd drop a Spider-Man on us.
Definitely. Bonesaw McGraw.
Got 3 minutes of play time.
Jeez. Is Curb Stomp? I mean, obviously that's something that y'all are cooking, but are you guys cooking anything big else?
The GM should come back sometime soon.
Yeah, whenever we decide the GM comes back.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think we like what we're doing right now. I think if anything, obviously feels, because GM does take a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
It's like we have to dedicate a day to record it because we record 3 or 4 episodes at a time.
Oh, okay.
Which is like we do, and we go all the way from week 1 to pay-per-view.
And those are all on YouTube?
Yep.
Those are all on YouTube.
I need to go back and watch.
And it's like we'll take 3 or 4 hours to record that alone.
And then I had to edit it, which takes like an hour.
Grayson hour to edit each episode.
Right, of course.
So it's like, if we can find something that's not, because Grace, we work. And it's like, if we found something that would make it easy on us to do, absolutely. But it would just be GM coming back full time.
For sure.
Yeah, that's all
I'll
got
take it.
really in the
I'll take
works. Besides weekly episodes, clips, TikToks, yeah.
I'm gonna say I am an avid fan of the TikToks. I do enjoy those, and I just want to give you guys a heads up. I will be stealing them.
Oh
no, we stole these from Santy.
Yeah, we stole these.
Yeah.
So how we feel about it is, if you say, "Hey, we're stealing this," cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
If you say nothing about it, and you make it apparently clear you stole it from us, then we have a bit of an issue with it.
Since we stole it, and we were like, yes, we definitely stole these, but like,
Yes, but if you try to act like you came up with them,
no,
we know you didn't. We have an issue.
So I do have one idea for TikToks that I don't think I've seen anyone do. I'll go ahead and say fuck it. Since you gave me a juicy nugget, I'll throw you one back. I threw this idea at Jedi, and he really liked it. The idea is guess that theme song. You read off lyrics from an old, or I guess a present day entrance theme that has lyrics. You know, besides for all of Def Rebel's nonsense.
No. Never Def Rebel.
Yeah. Oh, Rise. Yeah. No.
He did Romans. Let's respect him a little bit.
He had one banger. I'll give you that.
He also
the most awe-filled entrance ever.
Agreed. Yeah. But that's and then you just try to guess the theme. That's one I don't think I've seen anybody do. That's yeah. So I just got we're trying to figure out scheduling time, and then obviously I've got to try to figure out how to edit all of that. But I will figure that out.
We would never get to the end of it because Grayson would need all 3 minutes and every lyric of the song to get the theme song.
Not true.
And then we'd have to go the accomplishments as well to get him there.
Right.
We got to do a few of those. Yeah.
We've seen the Edge one. We've seen the Edge one.
Ooh, yeah.
like it can be tough on Grayson.
You put Degeneration X at 5, so I don't want to hear it.
I put them at 5 and you saved them till last. There's 2 TikToks out there where you put Nia Jax at 1 and 2.
Those are early TikToks too.
Oh no.
So I don't want to hear it. My one fuck up comes with 2 Nia Jax, and you're taking a minute and you took like 3 minutes of real life time to get fucking Edge.
Yeah.
I listed every accolade, and you're like, who the fuck is this?
So who the fuck has like 12 tag team championships? Apparently.
Oh,
I thought it was just like a guy who was just in the mid card at all times.
The 8 world titles. There was like I said there was like 8 world titles too, and you were still guessing mid cards.
Okay, and guess what? Jinder Mahal has a WWE title,
and you got hit faster than Edge.
Oh dear. Well, that is going to wrap us up for this episode of Small Talks with the Big Guy, the best podcast that you've never heard of. Also, you can find us over on Twitter at Small Talks with the Big Guy. I believe it's just the initials, so SWTBG on Twitter or X, whatever your prerogative. You can also find us in video form over on YouTube, Small Talks with Big Guy. I am not sure if the @ is still I am EROE, but regardless,
it is.
Well, there you go. I don't know. I'm gonna fix that at some point. Probably not. But make sure you go follow us for all future updates to the podcast. Go follow my guests, not only at their individual Twitters and all that nonsense, but also at Curb Stomp Pod. Go make sure you listen to all their episodes. Guys, I appreciate you both being on.
Of course.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.
And as a sneak peek, ladies and gentlemen, you will not be seeing a familiar face in episode 6 of Small Talks with the Big Guy. This next one's going to be interesting. It is a brand new guest, never once been on the show, but Lord knows he's been asking to be on the show for quite a while.
Dean the dog.
Dean the dog. Which one?
Yes, all of them.
Both of them.
If you know,
both of them.
If you know, you know. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening. Also, go listen to Hit the Go Home, new episode where we talk about Money in the Bank, starring me and Jedi Joker 93, the new host. Oh, and also, I forgot to give. I'm a piece of shit. I forgot to give a massive shout out to my beautiful wife, Miss Brackle, for designing the new logo for Small Talks with the Big Guy. Something she whipped out in a matter of seconds because she is a wizard on the iPad. So thank you very much for that. So, but without any further ado, that's going to do it for us here. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.